Story 3 ended so cleanly. Why did we need another one? Let's talk about it. Hey, I'm Amy and welcome back. Oh my god, Toy Story 4 is here. A lot of people say,
Toy Story 3 was so great, why do we need to continue? It just ended perfectly.
Well, let me tell you straight up right here that this, I feel like, could be the end of Toy Story, and I would be totally okay with it. I feel like it was a perfect ending, an ending that we didn't know we needed. It was just so welcomed, at least to me. I absolutely welcomed the ending of this because it gave a little bit more closure, even though, I mean, yes, it probably could be considered completely unnecessary because we're ending the Andy saga and starting the Bonnie saga, but again, I absolutely loved and enjoyed myself through the entire film, and I feel like it rounded it out quite nicely. And it really was never the Andy saga. It was just the first three were the Andy generation, and now we're in the Bonnie generation. I can kind of see us separating out between those who grew up with the original Toy Story, like myself, who was Andy's age when the first Toy Story came out, and who was Andy's age when the third Toy Story came out, or around his age, and kind of went through the steps of childhood and all the way into adulthood with Andy. We really kind of understood a lot of what was happening. And a lot of those people who went through that are having kids, and those kids are probably about Bonnie's age. So they're going to start learning and understanding about this same thing through Bonnie's eyes, even though it's never really about the human owners of the toys. It's not about the kids. It's really about the toys' story. Hence, Toy Story. Duh. I think having those in the background really were a great avenue for children to get into it. They could understand the imagination with which Andy was playing with those dolls or any of these other toys. Kids Bonnie's age now can see from her perspective, especially little girls can see through Bonnie's perspective in this film the way she plays with certain toys. And I think that is just such a beautiful little rounding out and passing of the baton. I feel like that made no sense at all, but at the same time, it made complete sense to me. So let me know if you want me to clarify it in the comments, and I'll try to clarify it if I remember what I'm talking about. But anyways, Toy Story 4 is probably, to me, definitely both the funniest Toy Story film and the funniest Pixar film of all time. There's a lot of Pixar films, there's 4 Toy Story films, but this one was hilarious. I don't think I stopped laughing. I mean, there were some parts that were pretty sad, especially towards the end, because of course it's a Pixar film, it's a Toy Story film, it's going to tug at your heartstrings and make you cry. The theater that I was in, it was just full of so much laughter that there were sometimes you would miss a joke because everyone was laughing so hard at a joke that had just happened, and I absolutely loved that. I've never laughed that hard at an animated movie in the last couple years. I have not enjoyed myself in an animated movie this much in the past couple years, especially more so in this past year. I think a lot of that is owed to Key and Peele as Bunny and Ducky and Tony Hale as Forky, and even Tim Allen as Buzz. I think this was Buzz's funniest role yet, even though he played it pretty straight in the first one, and that's what gave him the comedic sensibility, I guess, is kind of lack of a better word that I can think of at the moment. I really loved Tim Allen's performance as Buzz in this because he did such a great job, and he really held his own in this, more so than he has in the rest of them, because it has been a lot more focused on Woody's character. And in this, it's still focused a lot on Woody's character. It is very much Woody's story. It's his journey, as it has been pretty much for the last 3. But Buzz really does hold his own. He gets to play around and have a big journey throughout that he didn't necessarily have as much on his own in any other film so far, if there's going to be more. I also forgot to mention that Keanu Reeves as Duke Kaboom, the Canadian stuntman, daredevil, he was also something that added to the hilarity of this. Ducky and Bunny and Forky and Duke Kaboom, they didn't have like as massive roles as, say, like Bo or Woody. Maybe even Buzz. I think Buzz had a lesser role, but Duke and Ducky and Bunny and Forky were the just heart of how funny this movie was. And I think that I don't know, it's not a trio. What is a group of 4? I don't know. Those 4 characters were probably my favorite. Forky is my new favorite character. If they have more Toy Story movies after this, I definitely think that they need to make Forky like the main character, or give us more Forky, because I love Tony Hale. I loved Forky. I need to see him more. But at the heart of it all is the story. And it has, as with every Pixar film and every Toy Story film, a great central story that everything revolves around. And in this one, it is really about moving on and finding your true purpose in life. Those 2 themes throughout the movie are very prevalent, and I absolutely just relished in that. Even though it's something that I didn't necessarily relate to, it's still just a great message to send out. Pixar just does such a great job with their kind of inner messaging, as well as something that I have been championing for the reason that this was going to be a great film from the first trailer. It just focused a little bit on towards the first and second acts of what really constitute and makes a toy. They do bring it up a lot throughout the film, but it really is the joy and love that a child brings to playing with something that makes it a toy. They do kind of skew that a little bit differently throughout, by it meaning that the child writes their name on the bottom of the toy's foot, and that's what makes them a toy. But it's also, I think, the love that the child has for the toy, or any child in general. There is a more overarching story of not just having a single child, but multiple, like you can have an entire playground full of children to play with, and that's kind of what gives another toy purpose. That's another great message that I think that they did such a great job on. So I think that's pretty much all I can talk about without just going into some spoilery territory, and I don't want to do that because this movie is great and I want you to go see it. My rewatch score for this is, if you could not tell, 100% collection. I probably want to go watch this movie again in theaters. I definitely recommend that you go watch this in theaters. It's super fun. It's hilarious. But let me know if you've seen it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. What did you think of Toy Story? And for the no context question, I'm pretty sure I already asked this with my Onward trailer reaction, but let me know your favorite Pixar film again. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I really truly do appreciate you. Whoever you are, let me know who you are in the comments down below, and let's be friends. If you enjoyed this, leave a like and subscribe if you're new, because I love talking about things, movies, TV shows, filmmaking, mystery, all that fun stuff. And I'll see you next time. Bye!